Asset protection strategies are important to protect your wealth and assets. They can protect your assets from creditors and lawsuits, as well as help you avoid the risk of losing everything in a divorce or bankruptcy. What is asset protection, and how can I protect my assets? Asset protection is a set of legal tools that can be used to protect your assets from creditors, lawsuits, and other claims. Asset protection tools are often used in conjunction with one another to provide the best possible protection for your assets. This can include using a limited liability company, LLC, protective trusts, and insurance policies such as life insurance or disability insurance. The most common type of asset protection tool is the LLC. The LLC provides limited liability for its owners by separating their personal assets from the business's assets. This means that if you own an LLC and someone sues you personally, they cannot touch your personal property or money in order to collect a judgment against you. For example, if someone sues you and wins a judgment against you personally worth $1 million, they will not be able to take any of your personal property or money because it is all held in the name of your LLC. Protection of assets is an important part of the law. The issue with asset protection arises when a person takes legal action to protect assets, but fails to take necessary steps in order to ensure that the assets are protected. What are the different types of asset protection strategies? There are many different types of asset protection strategies. Some of the most popular ones are the use of a trust or a family limited partnership to hold assets. The use of a trust or a family limited partnership to hold assets may be the best way to preserve your wealth. A trust is not an entity and does not own property, but is only a legal document that holds property for the benefit of people who are named in the trust. The use of life insurance, annuity, and charitable giving to protect assets. Many people are investing in life insurance, annuity, and charitable giving to protect their assets due to the uncertainties of the future. Life insurance is used as a tool to build up your estate in order to help minimize the estate tax burden. Annuities can be used as an investment vehicle and a way to generate lifelong income. Charitable giving is useful for avoiding capital gains taxes on investments as well as estate taxes. The use of irrevocable trusts and gifting to children or grandchildren. A revocable trust is a type of trust that can be modified or revoked during the trust creator's lifetime. Most trusts are irrevocable because the beneficiary does not have any rights or control over them, and they will only receive the assets once it has been completely distributed. An irrevocable trust is created and a person transfers property to a trustee with instructions to distribute the property to beneficiaries upon their death. A revocable trust is created when someone transfers property to a trustee with instructions to distribute the property to beneficiaries during their lifetime. The beneficiary can revoke the trust at any time, allowing them control over the distribution of assets. The avoidance of ownership in closely held businesses and partnerships by using holding companies. One of the most common creative accounting techniques is the use of holding companies to avoid ownership in closely held businesses and partnerships. This technique allows for tax benefits when forming partnerships and can also result in significant tax savings for individuals as well. How to choose the best asset protection strategy for you. Asset protection is a form of risk management that involves the use of legal, contractual, and other devices to protect assets from harm. There are different ways to protect your assets. The best way for you will depend on your personal situation and what you want to protect. The first question that you need to ask yourself is, what do I want to protect? Some people may only want to protect their home or their retirement savings. Others may want to protect everything they own from lawsuits, creditors, accidents, or natural disasters. The second question is, how much do I have? If you have a lot of money in the bank or invested in stocks and bonds, then it may be worth protecting them with an expensive trust. On the other hand, if all you're trying to protect is your home and car because all your investments are wrapped up in those two things, then it's not worth using an expensive trust because there's not much point in protecting the things you don't have. The third question is, what would be the best way to protect what I own? That will depend on your situation and what you want to protect. What if you don't have a lot of money? If so, then it's not worth protecting your house or car with a trust because in most cases it's cheaper to just use an insurance policy instead. The importance of asset protection in today's world. It is important to have a clear understanding of what asset protection is and why it is necessary in today's world. A company's assets are its most valuable resources. They are the reason for its existence, and if they are lost, it can lead to bankruptcy. For this reason, asset protection is an essential measure that needs to be taken by every business owner or entrepreneur. It provides a means of safeguarding against potential threats such as lawsuits, natural disasters, or other unforeseen events. The best way to protect your company's assets is through the use of an asset protection plan app. An app will help safeguard your company's property and investments from both present and future threats by taking advantage of various legal tools including LLC formation, trusts, limited partnerships, corporations. Choosing the right type of business entity depends on many factors, including the owner's goals and objectives, tax considerations, and legal requirements. For example, an LLC is a pass-through entity. This means that the income or loss from the business is passed through to each member of the LLC, and they are then taxed on their personal tax return based on their share of profits. In contrast, corporations are an entity that is separate from the individuals who own them. Corporate profits are taxed at a corporate level, and pass-through taxation does not apply to corporations. C corporation. A C corporation can be a sole proprietor or partnership, but it is generally limited to having one owner as opposed to multiple owners. They often enjoy pass-through taxation and other benefits such as limited liability protection for the owner. Start using an asset protection strategy today to protect your wealth. Asset protection is a strategy that can protect your assets from potential creditors. It is important to have an asset protection strategy in place before you need it. There are many ways to set up an asset protection plan, and the best way for you to do so will depend on your individual circumstances. You should consider using a trust, LLC, or corporation if you want to protect your assets from creditors. You also might want to consider using a domestic asset protection trust or offshore asset protection trust if you have significant assets outside of the country. These trusts can be used as a way of protecting assets in case of bankruptcy or legal judgments against you. Asset protection is the process of protecting your assets from creditors. In order to protect your assets, it is advisable to have an asset protection plan in place before you need it. There are many ways and means of doing so. Asset protection can be done using a trust, LLC, or corporation, or by using a domestic asset protection trust or offshore asset protection trust. These trusts can be used as a way of protecting assets in case of bankruptcy or legal judgments against you. If you learned something new today, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you all tomorrow.